Hey, welcome back to the Man Cave Podcast with Dan and D.
I'm Dan.
And I'm D.
Hey, man, we got some NFL games to review for you guys. As always, the AFC North, and then we got two little bonus games for you guys.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get it started off with the probably the game of the week for Browns fans.
Yeah. How about that? Browns and Titans. They pulled it out 41-35.
Browns moved 9-3, Tennessee 8-4, man. It's a hell of a game. Baker Mayfield.
That was the first time that the Browns have been 9-3 since 1994.
Oof, there's a stat for that ass.
Hey, how about that?
Baker Mayfield, 25 for 33, 334 yards. He had 4 touchdowns.
Career high for him.
Yep.
Well, maybe for the first half, but
hey, Nick Chubb tore it up too. He was your main guy once again, as always every week with the Browns. 18 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
Here's something for you. With the six first half possessions, all scoring possessions, a field goal, a touchdown to Jarvis. Henry coughs up a fumble, and then Chubb, boom hitting. They did a little fake with him, and then he goes back, throws a touchdown to the lineman Ham, and then there was a 75-yard touchdown to Peoples-Jones.
So wait, you're saying he went ham?
Oh, he went ham.
Oh,
Lamb. It was
Oh, damn it.
Lamb went ham, though.
Isn't that where ham comes from?
Lamb. And then Higgins with the touchdown pass and Chubb with the touchdown run.
Dude, it's kind of weird, man. You got to think of, we're not typically used to seeing Baker Mayfield throw to 9 different receivers, and he was also a receiver in a play himself.
Yeah, that was a nice one. Jarvis ends up getting it on a double reverse, and then lobs it over to Baker for, that toe tag swag.
Toe tag swag with Baker Mayfield.
Swag.
Hey, Titans, man, they busted ass, man. You got 35-7 at halftime. Browns come out, kick a field goal in the third quarter, don't do anything else, and we just sit there and watch the Titans just kind of run through them.
They started to come back, man.
They did, man, absolutely. Corey Davis was your main guy for the Titans. 11 catches, 182 yards, and a touchdown.
Pruitt? Michael Pruitt, there we go. Michael Pruitt ended up getting a touchdown.
Fumble recovery.
Yeah, and A.J. Brown, he fumbles it right there in the red zone, and Pruitt ends up recovering it for the touchdown. They had an opportunity to come back, but they were moving down the field. They had a couple penalties that were going in their favor, and then Humphreys just hits him like right in the hands and pops up.
Right in the basket, yep.
Yeah. I mean,
seals the deal, man. Titans were close, man. They ended up coming back, like I said, 41-35 after being down 35-7.
Now, did you know that the Browns are the first to run, or they're number one in first down runs?
Browns are?
Yeah, the Browns are.
All right.
That run on first downs. And the thing is that the Titans were so busy trying to play that run because of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt that they always had too many people in the box, and Kevin Stefanski was taking advantage of that. He was lining up everybody right there on the line like they were about to run, and they would just go off of that with rollouts and play actions. Yep. They were doing nothing. That's why that 75-yard touchdown to Peoples-Jones happened, because it was one play, one possession. Just right down the field.
Yeah, he only had 2 catches, and both of them he was wide open, so...
I mean, you can't really ask for much more. I mean, Browns are on a move. We'll see what they end up doing against the Ravens.
Speaking about wanting more, Bengals fans I feel like want a little more, maybe a little bit less.
Are you missing Andy Dalton yet?
No. Neither are Cowboys fans.
Not even for a backup. At least he's making the Cowboys somewhat.
At this point, if the Bengals get,
you got a Hall of Shamer under center,
bro. Say the Bengals were to have Dalton as a backup, that would potentially mean that we would win more games than. Yes, Burrow's in. He wants to win as many as you can. Burrow's out now. Now we don't want to win any games. So at this point, it's just pointless to watch him.
You want a high draft pick? Is that what you would prefer?
We want, at this point, as many draft picks as we can get. I think we're set at wide receiver. We need offensive linemen. We need people to protect Joe Burrow.
I think that you guys also need a really like a shutdown corner.
And hey, for those that don't know, Dolphins came out 19-7, kind of a messy game, but they came out on top 19-7, beat the Bengals.
Yeah, there was a lot of tension in this game.
There was
some tension that started. I think that's where a lot of it really started was Brandon Allen was. I think he was feeling some pressure around with the pocket collapsing and ends up rolling out and. Like 2 or 3 people tried to take his head off. And then I don't really know what was really going on between Howard and Boyd, but there was again, he started to feel some of the pressure collapsing around him, or the pocket collapsing around him, rolls out, tries to hit Boyd, and him and Howard ended up scuffling it out. But I mean, your defense was holding Tua in check in the first half.
And defense, honestly, the whole season hasn't been a problem for the Bengals. It's been keeping our quarterback safe and closing out games.
But Gesicki, man, Gesicki for the Dolphins. I mean, at half it's 7-6. You know, you guys are up. You're holding them to field goal kicks and everything. It's just your offense has so much problems. I think you guys are missing Joe Mixon. And
we're missing both the Joes.
Yeah, I agree.
With both the Joes, we're the average Joes. With none of the Joes, we're a Joe cut.
A joke cut. But what I was getting at with Gesicki, once Tua got on track with him, I think that's when they started to mount that comeback. Because there was a nice little pass from the left-hander. The left-hander.
Yeah, a little 5-yarder.
There was that, but what ended up setting that up was he got that left-hand little touch pass out to Gaskin that set up that 5-yarder to Gesicki. And Gesicki's out there one-handing it in front of you guys. Man, I'm like, what the hell?
Hey, bro, it's 2020. Tight end's been showing the heck out, bro.
Yeah, they have. And you do got a fast little monster on you with Mike Thomas. He's getting a little, trigger happy with that tackling.
Yeah, man, we'll take it. We'll take speed any day.
I get that. He laid out Grant one time. He got away with it because he didn't call that fair catch. Ends up getting that punt. Hit him right here. They coughed it up, but they ended up recovering it. And then a couple possessions
Still,
later,
you're not to hit the guy before he catches the ball. Just saying.
That's when he ended up hitting him before then. Dude, he laid him out. And then that's when there was that. And then with that scuffle earlier with Boyd and Howard, your offense started really stalling a lot there.
I mean, if it wasn't for them 2 scuffles, there's really no point. There was really no point in watching that game. Nobody was interested in that. Nobody cares. Everybody wanted a Burrow Tua matchup. That's not even close to what the hell we got.
If Burrow was in, you guys would have won that. I think so.
All right. It's all right. Hey, we'll take what we can get. We'll take our picks. Burrow, rest up. We love you, dude. We'll be back. Go Bucks.
But Tua, man, what is going on with him?
What do you mean?
They play too conservative with him, I think.
Yeah, he's rookie and he doesn't seem to be very comfortable.
But they're in the playoff hunt, so why sit here and try to play so conservatively with them? Why wouldn't you want to have Ryan Fitzpatrick out there?
I think 2 is your future, so you keep him in for the rest of the season.
You think so?
Yep, absolutely.
I don't know, man. I mean, how often has the Dolphins really been in the playoff hunt?
I don't know, man.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to go
as far as I know, the last couple of years, I couldn't remember the last time the Dolphins were in the playoff hunt. Now they definitely are. They have a sick defense.
Yeah, that's a lot of the thing that's holding you in games. But when you got a somebody like Tua, wouldn't you want him to get comfortable with all these snaps and actually try to make something happen?
Which is why he's starting next week.
I mean, I get that, but why are you running more and doing short little checkdowns?
Just trying to make him comfortable.
Okay, man. I mean, if that's
I don't know. I don't know the answer. I'm not the head coach. I'm not Peterson. I don't know. I'm just what's off the top of my head.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
what's on the top of everyone's head? I'm pretty sure if you're a Steelers fan, the thing on top of your head is the fact that you guys just lost to a team without a name.
I mean, that's a lot of the reasons why I think people don't really fear them, because they get out to slow starts. They don't really do much. It's a bunch of punting back and forth in the first quarter. And then when you get out there and you actually start making stuff happen, you get a nullified touchdown pass to, who was that? To Johnson, and then you end up hitting them again to actually get the touchdown with Johnson. And both of them try to go be slick while they're in the red zone and go for it, and both end up failing. And, then you end up getting a 50-yard pass to Washington for a touchdown. You're up like 14-0, and then you allow them to start mounting little comebacks with field goals here, touchdown there.
Yeah, 14-3 at halftime. Washington comes out third quarter, scores a touchdown.
The only thing that you do is kick a field goal in the second half. That's the only points that you put up.
Absolutely, Washington. You had Hopkins at the end, kicked a field goal to tie the game. Ben comes right back out, throws a pick. Washington gets another field goal. They end up losing by 6. But 11-1 Pittsburgh.
My whole thing is like you're allowing 30-yard screen passes to no-name people like Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you're what are you? You're 29th in the league in rushing, and you're an undefeated team. That does not play out in the playoffs.
Well, you gotta also keep in mind too, why the hell is Ben Roethlisberger throwing the ball for 53 times? If you're Joe Burrow for the Bengals and that's your one-dimensional offense, yes, that's what you do. You're the Steelers, man. You have a run game. That's what will make the Steelers the Steelers. Hell of a defense and hell of a run game. You're throwing the ball 53 times.
They'll try
53 times.
They'll try to tell you it's because James Conner is out that they're not able to move the ball. But James Conner you're just a barely above average rushing team. You can't have somebody that's coming off of your elbow or the muscle on your elbow being ripped off and throwing 30 sometimes. You've noticed each week he's starting to regress a little more and more and more. It's the same argument that they make with Drew Brees, where they say each game you're starting to see little holes.
Mm-hmm.
But
keep in mind too, the longer Alex Smith stays behind center, the hotter he gets, man.
I agree.
He's a monster. 31 for 46, 296 yards. He was sacked 3 times, however, but 3 receivers combined for 24 catches. I think
with T.J. Watt on the other side, you're going to get sacked at least once.
Yeah, that's probably a guarantee. I like that D-line for Washington, though.
Oh, yeah.
They're nasty.
Chase Young?
Obviously.
Chase Young.
He's the one that knocked my boy out.
He didn't knock him out. It wasn't him, was it?
He's the one that tackled him. When he hurt his knee?
I know he smashed him and prevented him from getting that touchdown. I know he did that, but I don't know if it was that. I know there was some kind of 2 people fell into Burrow and knocked him out. But again, back to this. Something I have. The run blocking for the Steelers is trash.
Yeah.
Trash. The games are won at the line, in the trenches, as they say. But you have a good pass blocking with them, because you've seen in the game last Wednesday against the Ravens, they showed a clip of the Steelers against the Cowboys where Ben was under center and just sitting there holding the ball for like 10 plus seconds. Come on now, man. If you're that good at being able to just push people, then why can't you kind of like hold a block for a second longer? Yeah, just to get a little bit of a hole in the line for Snell or whoever's under or that's running the ball next week. Why can't you do that?
Montez Sweat, 3 blocks on Big Ben.
Montez Sweat.
3 block passes from Big Ben. Hey, they're 11-1. They go on and play Buffalo next week.
Ooh, that's going to be a tough
The
one.
red hot Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
We'll end up talking about them a game or two after this one.
Absolutely, man. I think we should transition over to the Ravens, the Purple Pigeons, man. For those that didn't see, 3-9 Dallas, 7-5 Baltimore. Baltimore pulls it out, 34-17. Lamar Jackson did his thing.
Oh, yeah.
12 for 17, 107 yards. That doesn't sound like great stats, but for the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, that is, because he went back to doing what he does best.
But
and
he's also
using
been
his
off.
wheels.
He's been off for 2 weeks. And people were sitting there trying to say that he wasn't going to be able to stand playing the entire game because he's coming back from being off with COVID. But here's a battle that I was really interested in when I was sitting there watching this last night. Zeke versus J.K. Dobbins. The master and the mentor. Yeah, I'm saying that J.K.'s better than Zeke.
JK's better than Zeke. At this point, I'm going to disagree with that.
What?
Because JK doesn't start. Zeke does.
So?
But Zeke didn't really have a great game. 18 carries, 77 yards. Dobbins, he contributed with 71 yards and a touchdown. But Gus Edwards was the man. 7 rushes, 101 yards and a touchdown.
That's just because he was coming in after J.K. would run it up on him, man. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You think J.K. Dobbins is better than Zeke?
Yes.
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 He's on the Ravens.
No, dude.
Bro, if he was on the Steelers, you would hate him. Right. Right.
I'll give you
right.
that. I'll give you
right.
that. But, Patrick Queen. There was a tip pass by Brandon Williams at the line. Patrick Queen picks it off. Lamar runs 38 yards right up the middle. 38 yards. 14-0 after he ends up hitting Miles Boykins too.
38 yards, yep. And then a Ravens field goal. You got a 17-10 halftime score.
Yeah, it was 161 rushing yards and a touchdown in the first half.
And you know what? The Ravens actually look like they did before. Lamar is he's not a pocket presence guy. Lamar's a guy that runs play action. He's a good bootleg out guy. He's a good guy on his feet, man. And they went back to that. Ravens went back to that. Good defense and a good run game. And look, they won the game. Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, and I mean, this is an example of what you were talking about. The pocket started collapsing a little bit. Lamar couldn't find anybody that's open. And then since him and Marquise Brown got on a little bit of the same page, and he throws a 20-yard dart right to him in the back of the end zone.
Boom.
The 5'8" little guy out there putting on a show.
You know how you throw it in the corner to a 5'8" little guy? You drop it right in his basket, right over his shoulder.
Right in the bread basket.
Right over his shoulder.
Right in the bread basket. And did Zeke have a touchdown?
No, Zeke did not.
You know who did have a touchdown?
Dobbins.
He did.
Alright, so that's what Dobbins' second or third, maybe.
So?
Zeke's had that in one game, bro.
Yeah.
But just saying, comparing Zeke and Dobbins isn't fair. They haven't been in the league the same amount of time.
So what? We're comparing
they're both Buckeyes. I'm not just because they're a Ravens fan. I'm not going to start picking sides.
I'm not really picking sides. I do like Zeke.
I think their career ended when they went to the Ravens.
But I think when it's all said and done, I think that JK is going to have a better career than Zeke.
I guess we'll find out, man.
Yeah, I guess we will. I mean, and we had Campbell, Dobbins was back, of course. Ingram was back. Brandon Williams was back.
You played the Cowboys.
Yeah, and it was really sad that Dez got pulled out because of an inconclusive COVID test, and he's sitting there throwing just pouting, saying that he's going to retire.
Nah, but then somebody said something to him about don't quit, and he said he'd be back.
I know. He said he was just being emotional.
Baltimore, though. Check this out. Baltimore, 294 rush yards on the worst rush defense in football. That's how you beat the Cowboys. Honestly, that's how you beat the Steelers.
I agree. And what?
I don't know, man. It just A lot of teams are so one-dimensional now. That's what the teams that are two-dimensional, why they're so stand out, like the Titans.
That's what you got to be. You got to be able to play basically on all three sides of the ball. You got to be able to play special teams. You got to be able to play at least somewhat good defense to hang around to hold certain teams from running up scores on you, and you also got to be able to complete passes, kind of like how Aaron Rodgers was completing passes to Adams all day.
Dude, yeah.
All day on the Eagles.
Green Bay Packers win 30-16 over the 3-8 Philadelphia Eagles. Rodgers 25 for 34, 295 yards. He did have 3 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. And he's the 7th quarterback to reach the 400 club. But he's the fastest.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, two second quarter touchdown passes by Aaron Rodgers puts him up 14-3 at half.
Oh, yeah. And
Adams, dude. The dude's a monster.
Oh, yeah. Vontae Adams, yeah, man.
Well, everyone, remember at the beginning of the season, everyone gave Green Bay shit because they didn't pick up any weapons. They picked up a quarterback. And now nobody's questioning them. Like,
yes, they are. They're well, I am, and everybody else is. Like, dude, why would you want Jordan Love?
There's a reason they grabbed him. There's a reason.
He's not going to play for another 3 years. I mean, it's not like what they're doing to poor Carson Wentz, who has absolutely nothing around him, where they're benching him for Jalen Hurts. I get why they did that because, you know, you haven't really been playing, but your first-round draft pick that you ended up picking up, Jalen Reagor, where's he been? He's nothing. That's your first-round pick that you have.
He returned a kick.
But that's it.
What do you mean that's it? How often does that happen?
But he's been injured all it.
Okay, then you can't expect him to do anything.
He's been injured a lot, and I mean, you're picking him when that's not what that team needs. You have Deshaun Jackson, and you got who else do you got? You got what is his name?
You got 2 decent tight ends.
Yeah, but Zach Ertz has been hurt. Mm. He's not even, I don't even think he's the starter anymore. I think Dallas Goedert is. But you got Alshon Jeffries and Deshaun Jackson, and you're picking up a 5'8" slot guy when you have Deshaun Jackson. Just imagine this, okay? They picked 21st in the draft, right?
There's a difference between a slot guy and Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson's more of a slot guy. He's later on in
his career. Deshaun Jackson's a vertical, run straight out.
Yeah, but you don't want him
slot guy. You want him running up and going horizontal.
Let me make my point, okay?
All right.
They picked 21st in the draft. Guess who was picked 22nd?
Who?
Justin Jeffries.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you rather have had?
Probably Jeffries.
Okay, that's my point. You got another guy who's a short guy that's more of a you design plays for him. That's what you're going to have to do for Jalen Reagor, right? He's a short guy. He's probably more of a vertical, something similar to what Deshaun Jackson is. Would you rather have somebody like Justin Jeffries, or Justin Jefferson, or would you rather have him?
Or Deshaun Jackson?
No, Jalen Reagor.
At slot, Reagor.
But you got Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson, I don't think, is a slot receiver.
You think he's an every down wideout?
He's a vertical. He's a run straight out, dude. He's a vertical guy. Verticals. That's what Deshaun Jackson does. Hike, go straight the hell out. Outrun the guy. That's all Deshaun Watson is, or Deshaun Jackson is.
But that's exactly what Jalen Reagor is too. He came from TCU.
He should be a slot guy. Either way, okay. The wide receivers is not Philadelphia's problem. It's their offensive line. They've allowed the most sacks. They've allowed the most sacks in the entire league.
I get that.
And they've allowed at least 3 sacks in 10 straight games.
But a lot of them are, Larry, what is his name?
You tell me. I don't know who you're talking about.
Bald guy. Larry Johnson. There we go. Larry Johnson. He's hurt. I think the only person that's still on the line, I'm not 100% sure on this, don't quote me, but I think it's Lane Johnson. That's who it is that I was thinking about. I said Larry Johnson. Lane Johnson. But I think Kelsey is the only one that's still out there on the line. Everybody else is new. All your receivers have been torn apart, and you got what is his name? Greg Ward, and you got Fulgham that's out there. They're both undrafted free agents.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason that they're undrafted free agents. Guys that are coming right in off the street. Those are your weapons that you have. And then you got Miles Sanders, and you got what's his face in the backfield.
Which I like Miles Sanders.
I get that, but he's not a starting running back. He's
I think with a good offensive line, he is.
He's a rotational guy, though. Like, you don't want him in every single down. You also want somebody who can definitely pick up that 3rd and 1. That's what you want. But I got to give it up though to Hurts, because he at least came out there and he was able to light a fire up underneath that.
He did. He had a pick. He also threw a touchdown though.
He helped him do it, but
you're down 23-3.
I'm just afraid that you bringing in somebody in the 2nd round and you're putting him in right now. There's a reason that he was a 2nd rounder and he wasn't drafted in the 1st round.
So let's be honest. I think Jalen Hurts comes in, plays, has a decent game, scares the shit out of Wentz, and then Wentz comes back in.
I think they're going to get rid of him.
There's nobody in the league that's going to sign that contract.
Maybe there might be a team that will do that.
Yeah, who's that?
Maybe the 49ers. Who knows?
49ers.
Yeah. We'll move on to that. The Bills and the 49ers.
9-3 Bills, 5-7 Niners. Bills pulled out 34-24. Josh Allen, a superstar. 32 for 40, 370 yards, 4 touchdowns.
It was the Allen, Diggs, and Beasley show on Monday.
It absolutely was. 19 catches between the 2 receivers. Ridiculous, man.
I mean, they both, again, failed to convert while they were in the 5 yards from the field goal. And then Allen and Moss end up fumbling on a handoff, and the Niners ended up capitalizing on that. But then the Bills were off to the races. 6 possessions, all scoring drives.
Yep. And actually, the game opened up with two goal line drives.
Well, that's what I was talking about. They both failed on them.
Yep.
And, Josh Allen was ballsy out there, man. He was out there picking on Richard Sherman. I mean, I know Richard Sherman was coming off of an injury, but, the Niners defense isn't just some run over team. You're not going to do that. I mean, I know you're missing Bosa out there, but they were out there picking on him all day long.
Hey, man, Bills 4 touchdowns from 4 different players. This is Josh Allen's 4th game this year, 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He's in the MVP race.
Man, he's sick. Your only hope for San Fran, I mean, Mullins had a decent game, 26 of 39, 316 yards, had 2 picks, but he also threw 3 touchdowns. We'll give him a little credit on that. And Brandon Ayuk, 5 catches, 95 yards, and a touchdown. That's your superstar for the Niners at this point.
There's something that I have to pick on with the Niners, though. They hung around in this game. But when you're doing stupid things like this on 2nd and 18, when Josh Allen's rolling out and just throwing the ball away, you can't level him.
Right.
You can't do that. Then you're moving the ball up. It would have been 3rd and 18. They have the weapons to be able to do that, but you could have had a chance to do something.
Hey, it was a hell of a game, man. Buffalo's got the Steelers coming up.
Yes, they do. But let's bring that one segment into this one a little bit. I mean, you got no Bosa, you got no Kittle, and you got no Garoppolo. Garoppolo or Mullins? Who are you sticking with?
Probably Garoppolo.
You think so? And he's not even that great.
Neither's Mullins.
I get that. but let's bring it in there. Would you think that they would cut Garoppolo and end up picking up Wentz's contract?
No.
No.
No, I think Matt Stafford would go to the Niners before
That's
Wentz
just
would.
because you said that last episode.
I'm
You're
sticking
going
with
to
that.
stick with it.
I think Stafford will be phenomenal in the 49ers.
I get that.
And they give Justin Fields to the Lions. Ayo.
Okay. No, I don't think he'll be on the board that long. He'll probably end up going to the Jags. But I mean, you could see what I mean though with that. I mean, you got George Kittle, you got Deebo Samuels, and you got people like Raheem Mostert, who was actually a big part of that offense.
They played a hell of a game last night.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he started off late last year, and he's carrying it into this year. I mean, between him and a lot of that stuff, and they got a decent line out there because, like you said, Mullins isn't that big.
No, I mean, 3 touchdowns is nice. 2 picks isn't though, but he's carrying the team for what it is. They're 5-7 right now. I mean, Seahawks aren't really playing well.
No, they're not. I mean,
we'll see what happens, man. Who they pick up in the draft. You never know. You pick up some random third round quarterback and he ends up being a superstar.
I don't know about that, man. Not too many of those out there. But
who knows? Hey, Bills roll on, man. They got the Steelers. Niners got the Washington football team. Both teams coming off a win.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
I don't know.
Hey, next week there's a lot of really good games that are going to be coming on. I'm excited to see a few of them.
Absolutely,
I'm excited
man.
to see the Bills and the Steelers because I don't think that that ugly play is going to last forever. They'll end up picking it back up, and I think that
fact is with the Steelers is they can sit everybody and they're still good. So
yeah,
at this point you're fighting. You're fighting for it right now, Kansas City, but you might as well just give it to Kansas City. They actually care. Steelers don't.
The Steelers hold that tiebreaker.
All right.
So they're still the number 1 seed even with that loss.
Well, hey, there's a hell of a bunch of games next week. We're gonna come back with our picks and everyone's favorite segment, Badass or Bust. Be right back.